This program is brought to you by Hungry Jack's and Bunnings Warehouse.
Here we go, the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix taking on Melbourne United. And Melbourne United, a fantastic win on the road in Perth. They get it done here. I reckon they get it done very easily against Southeast Melbourne. Few teams on a bigger skid than the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix right now. I think their season is completely gassed, and this is sort of a must-win game for Melbourne. So I reckon they should be sitting around $1.10, but we're getting better than that in their head-to-head. So we'll take them there. We'll also take them at the line. As I said, Southeast Melbourne nowhere near where they need to be at the moment. Melbourne playing for that top 2 spot, so we'll take them there. And that total, just a bit too high for me. I'm more than happy to take the unders with the way that Southeast Melbourne have been scoring the ball. Enjoy the game, and most importantly, gamble responsibly.
We going all out.
Phoenix force a turnover at halfway.
Oh, yes, sir. Hellacious dunk by Mitch Creek.
Jeez, this guy's tough. This guy can play.
Alley-oop play sees Jack White play above the rim.
Joe, Luala Chul, a little bit of salt into the wound.
Here's Golding. Shows them how it's done. Xavier Munford has Chi down the lane. Back to a 1-point game. The last minute in throwdown 15. Golding. From corner court. Enormous. 16 points for Chris Golding.
This is what the great players do.
Tell you what, fellas, in terms of atmosphere, this place is loud. There's boos, there's cheers. That's all you want to see from a throwdown.
Good things happen when these two teams get together. It's a rivalry of extreme significance any time that Southeast Melbourne and Melbourne United go head-to-head at John Cain Arena. Anything can happen. The 3 margins this season, 8, 7 and 8, but throwdown 16 has even greater significance with Southeast Melbourne losing 6 of their last 7. And I think it's fair to say, Liam Santamaria and Andrew Gaze, as I welcome you both, they are playing for their season tonight.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. And let's be honest, the Phoenix, their form has been poor, losing 6 out of their last 7 after a fantastic start. And tonight, when it's all on the line, to me, it's their main guys, those marquee guys, Mitch Treat, Joe Chi. These are the sort of guys, Mumford, that need to step up. And they've been a little consistent over the last 6 or 7 games. It needs to all come together against a team than Melbourne United that showed against the Perth Wildcats that they are back in business.
Well, they sure are. Snapped a 2-game losing streak as we look at the Amy ladder. There they are on top of the table, Melbourne United. Interestingly, though, they lose this one. Things are going to start to get a little hairy up the top there with the Sydney Kings. But glance your way down the table to the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. Geez, they were looking rosy at 11-5 a few weeks back. As you say, Jack, lost 6 of their last 7, lost 2 in a row to Adelaide and Cairns, and right now, as a result, they're playing for their season.
It's a Thursday night doubleheader. We start with this one, and then we head to Perth to see the Wildcats taking on the New Zealand Breakers. Let's have a look at the DoorDash starting 5 for Melbourne. DoorDash is your delivery MVP. Head to the DoorDash app now. Monday night winners in the West over Perth by 9. They went on a 15-2 run on the way to three-quarter time. How big is that win for their season, Drew?
It's huge because they were in a little bit of a funk themselves and dropped a couple against a very good Illawarra team their last lot. But also there, Kayla Ogata, he was not there in Perth. He's not back in the starting lineup, but he'll get back into the rotation.
Let's get courtside for the first time tonight to John Cain Arena and welcome in a championship winner with Melbourne United, Pete Hooley, and welcome in a 2-time Olympian and now first-time mother, Jenny, on behalf of all of the Australian basketball community. Congratulations to you and Neil. Welcome back.
Thank you very much. She makes her debut on NBL22. That's pretty special, gentlemen. I must admit, having a baby in March is pretty good. You get a lot of NBL, WNBL, and March Madness. But the sleep leaves a lot to be desired at the moment.
Take us through tonight and the atmosphere. Pete, you always talk about what it's like inside John Cain Arena in these games, but this is really significant, this one.
Well, it is, and we're going to talk about X Factors. X Factors always come down to who wants to win this game more. Rivalry games, anything can happen. Shaylee's been that guy for Melbourne United all season long. He does everything he takes to win. He's going to be a candidate for the best defensive player. He's going to be a candidate for sixth man of the year. He's exceptional. On the other side for the Phoenix, it's not often we say it, but Mitch Creek is their X Factor in terms of he needs to be that guy tonight. Every single possession has to go through Mitch Creek. He needs to energise them.
He does indeed, and we know he's averaging over 23 points a game against Melbourne United, so expect him to have a big one. But like Drury said earlier on, I agree with your sentiments, Drury. If Southeast Melbourne are any chance of winning this game, they're going to need other players to step up, and we are wanting to see who that's going to be, gentlemen.
Thank you, Jen, and thank you, Pete. Great to have you with us tonight. There's the DoorDash lineup for the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. Joe Chi, Liam, it just seems to be that whenever Joe Chi plays Melbourne United, he's playing good basketball.
The matchup, it works for him. There are just some teams, some matchups that work for some guys, and this battle of the bigs has been enthralling across the three throwdowns this season. Look at the numbers they're putting up against each other. Joe Luala-Chul, 20 and 9 with nearly 4 blocks. Joe Chi, 17 and 10 with nearly 5 blocks. So it just works for both of these guys, and both of these head coaches are going to want their bigs playing at a high level.
The biggest game of Southeast Melbourne's season tonight. A win, still very much in the hunt for finals action. A loss, and it may just about be curtains. This Dellavedova got his hand in the passing lane, and the first bucket of the night goes to Melbourne United.
And that's not the start the Phoenix were looking for. Simple pass out that gets picked off, and Melbourne United, they can go to another level with their defense. That's their calling card, and they had a bit of a slip up the last couple of weeks, but against Perth, who was back in full force. And there's Joe Chi down low, and they make a target of him early.
They've been doing that more and more over the second half of the season. Good start there.
Bubba unsuccessful. The Phoenix have the outnumber up ahead. Here's Chi showing his agility, and then the finish with the left hand.
It is, and that was a high degree of difficulty with that shot, which he made look pretty easy. And the penetration really going at Joe Luala-Chul to start this one.
Jack White. Foul on the floor.
And how was the start? In that Perth game, Chris Golding had a fluorescent green light to start that done, and
they ran plenty of stuff for him.
Well, they did.
Off the opening tip, just like the Phoenix did down low there for Joe Chi, and I'm here for it. Drew, we've all been talking about it all season long. He got 18 field goal attempts up on Monday night in Perth, and when he does that, that's good news for Melbourne United.
Is fluorescent green, looks like Isaiah Liafa's shoes, by the way. Is that the next level from green?
It is. There is a next level, and in that first quarter, he was like that. And right here, some alarm bells will be ringing because of the turnovers. A couple of sloppy turnovers by the Phoenix to start this one.
Melbourne just toying with the Phoenix, but couldn't get bang for their buck. Here's Chi alone underneath. Southeast Melbourne have come out to play.
Well, he thought he might get it. Joe Chi hung back there towards the halfway line thinking, I might get a cheap one here, and it paid off.
Nice start for them. Here's Luala-Chul, finds White, tough finish. 11 and 10, Jack White in their win on Monday over the Wildcats. Here's Xavier Munford. His last 4 games have been really good, averaging 23 points. There's another turnover for the Phoenix in this opening term. White to the other end, and one.
Well, that's what they'll do to you. You cannot turn the ball over against this team. They lead the league in pace because of possessions exactly like that. Good action, sloppy pass, sloppy catch, and then Jack White says, excuse me, I'm going the other way.
Yeah, and Mitch Creek there just had to pick a side. He gave him choice. Now, I know it's a nice little change of direction, a little Euro step, but need to just pick a side and try and know where you're going to get beat, but gave him choices. And as such, Jack White with a relatively easy bucket.
Didn't play when the teams met in round 2. Was still coming back from his Achilles injury. Had 14-9 in their round 12 win. Melbourne lead the series for this season 2-1. Munford. Shot clock down to 8. Got to the foul line. Always dangerous in the mid-range.
Well, that's one guy who has been aggressive and playing pretty well over the past few weeks. Munford, 4 straight games with 20 or more points. He's in an aggressive state of mind.
As is Jack White.
Well, they all
to get back on the free throw line.
Melbourne United, and I've said this repeatedly, they are tough. In that first 8 seconds, everyone's got a license to put it to the floor and really put some heat on the rim. And Jack White using that side, Munford there didn't do a whole lot wrong. But I get the sense that Simon Mitchell has really handed the keys to Munford these last 5 or 6 games. Now, I know they haven't been getting the results, but playing him a lot more in his minutes, he's getting more shots and way more in control, either with him creating shots for himself or distributing the ball. And I think it's been the right decision. He's an elite player, and they're going to need him tonight. And that mid-range, he's very good at it.
I feel like that's going to please the great Leonard Copeland, who's watching tonight. He's been saying that for weeks about this Phoenix team, that it needs to start with Xavier Munford. Creek, good finish. Phoenix get another look at it, knocked out of bounds. Mitch Creek, second in the competition, points per game, averaging 21 of those across this Hungry Jacks NBL season. And Munford got away from Bubba. Loose ball falls to Dellavedova. He's done a lot of little things, but important things early on. White, nice handoff for Lawala Chul.
Yeah.
It's back to, all of a sudden, Melbourne United getting their noses in front.
This is for those basketball fans that've been watching the game for quite some time. The way Melbourne United run the floor, it reminds me a lot of a Joey Wright Adelaide 36ers team. They get out, they run in waves, and they really do test your defensive transition. And when you think of the turnovers, that's something that would be a real concern, because that ignites that type of action.
Settle down a little, guys. 3 turnovers, giving up 3 buckets inside first 8 seconds. Okay, so just got to be careful with the ball. Okay, again, be adventurous, be careful at the same time. Go back to our first play. Okay, go back to our first play. Now we've got to be mindful of Delhi on that one. Okay. Try and take Delhi to the corner. Whoever's got that, he's picking you up. Get an exchange there. Okay, I want Chris on this one. So if Chris is guarding you, you go there. Okay. First play. You take Delhi to the corner.
There's Simon Mitchell out of the Southeast Melbourne timeout. He's one of the funniest men in Australia. I'm not talking about the Commissioner, Jeremy Laliga, who's a very funny man in his own right, Jeremy, but that is Mick Malloy, Australian comedian. Mad sports lover as well.
No, huge, and loves his Richmond Tigers. And does a terrific job with on the front bar. Great to see him out checking out the hoops.
Creek trying to back in on White. He was good enough to get a hand in, and Southeast Melbourne straight out of the timeout give possession back to United. And Lawala Chul has got that fluorescent green light flashing. He couldn't score. Golding fouls Munford.
We saw that turnover from Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. Jack White, he's so important for this team with those matchups at that power forward spot. There are some real headline acts at the 4 spot across the league, especially amongst all the contenders. You know, you look at a guy like Xavier Cooks, Vic Law, these types of guys, and week after week, Jack White getting a job done on those stars.
Shot clock down to 7. Creek got to his left hand. Jack White said, not tonight. Now Lawala Chul to the other end with the jam.
It's impressive. It's impressive the way in which they've been to get out and run, and it's impressive what they're doing on the defensive end. You can see strategically the Phoenix, they're out there. They're trying to pound it inside the paint. they've been putrid from the three-point line the last 3 games. 16 of 73 at 21.9%. Rounded up so it sounds a little bit better at 22. But they're just going inside, and so far tonight, if you take away their turnovers, I think it's the right decisions they're making is to try and test the Phoenix down low. Against the United, I should say.
Chi up high. Gunning Luala Chul. Forced contact. Forced it in. And tells the Southeast Melbourne fans all about it.
This matchup living up to the billing from the pre-game, going at each other. I like this from the Phoenix. Joe Chi trying to pound away on Joe Luala Chul. Delhi helping out. So kick it out, repost, get a deeper seal, and go all the way to that right hook. And then down the other end, Joe Luala said right back at you, big fella.
Well, it is these two. They're the standouts, and they're going at each other, and we love to see it. And neither it's really complicated. It's not like they do run a lot of cuts or get some screening action to get those guys going. Joe Luala Chul does a little bit better job playing on the perimeter and putting it to the floor to get to the rim. Joe Chi down low.
He comes out of the game. Mitch Creek just got away from Jack White for a moment and pulled the trigger on a deep one. Gets it back to a 2-point game. Shaley, one of our X-Factor players, spoke about before the game. For his first minutes.
Sorry, Jack, these are early minutes for the DP. Owen Foxwell for the Phoenix.
Almost unexplainable. I mean, this is the biggest game of the season.
Cam Glitter not playing tonight for Phoenix fans with a late case of gastro.
The captain, Kyle Adlam, sitting on the bench.
That's what is going to be my next comment, is you're saying this guy's playing ahead of Kyle Adlam?
It's back to a 15-all scoreline. Let's see if there's method to the madness for Coach Simon Mitchell. Here's Ariel Hookporty, the German next star. As Illy had his shot partially deflected by Joe Chi. Top 3 in the competition in that stat. Creek had a mismatch. Illy diving on the loose ball. He's called for the foul. Melbourne's second of the quarter.
They're going to go big here, the Phoenix. Brendan Ashley checking into the game. There's Kyle Adlam. Looks ready to go, looks all right. Tarangi comes out, so we got the twin towers of Joe Chi and Brandon Ashley on the floor together. Mitch Creek sliding down to the 3.
Owens Foxwell's got in one game this season for 2 minutes. He's 1 of 1 from the field.
Maybe that's why he's in the game.
Wow. Way to grab the moment, young fella.
Yes, sir.
Huge hit for the youngster on one of the biggest stages here in the Hungry Jacks NBL. The Hookporty grabbed the O-board over the top of Chi and scores.
Tough finish. Elite shot blocker right in front, and Hookporty rolls it over the top.
It's the Phoenix by 1. Back down to Chi. Simon Mitchell from the sideline says, go to work. He has to hand it off. Foxwell late in the clock, draws a foul.
Well, how good is this to see? For a young fella, the nerves would be at a high level.
2 weeks ago, I took the Melbourne Tigers to play against the under-20 state team to give them preparation, because he's going to be playing in the under-20 national championships for Victoria, and he was playing in that game 2 weeks ago.
Right.
In a practice game. And here he is on the biggest stage when it comes to NBL basketball in Victoria, and thrown into a situation, and so far he's stood up.
This is the stuff you grow up dreaming about, playing in a rivalry game like this as a Victorian.
Well, you know what it does also say is that Simon Mitchell has got some real confidence in this young man, because he knows what's at stake, and I'm pretty sure In fact, I can absolutely guarantee that Dean Vickerman did not spend a lot of time on Owen Foxwell in the
Wasn't on the whiteboard?
So
you're saying,
he was not on the whiteboard.
You're saying that corner three wasn't part of the scout?
Well, they might have said, listen, if he comes in, he can shoot. Actually,
true.
I don't even think they would have said that.
Conversation did not occur.
I don't think it even happened.
Well done to him. Nice finish from Agata. Straight into the game with his first points. Brandon Ashley also checking in for the Phoenix. Foxwell showing confidence. That floater doesn't go. And Melbourne push forward en masse. Agata, feet set. There's Hook Porty again on the offensive glass with another putback.
Jeez, he's playing well. Hook Porty always coming in and having an impact, sending shots away, averaging 2 blocks per game over his last 10 and getting on the offensive glass right there.
You think about where Ariel Hook Porty was when they first played in round 2 to where he is right now. It's been extraordinary development. Ashley into the paint, a little out of control. Pinot misses the putback. Gives the Phoenix another opportunity. Here's the captain.
Well, this is also something a little bit different too, to see Ashley and Pinot on together at the same time as well. And we know Dane Pinot's renowned for what he can do in on-ball situations, but you know, what they're up against, well, to see where your advantage is at.
This particular lineup, Adnam, Foxwell, Break, Pinot and Ashley will have never played together for a second over the course of this season until this point.
Well, it may be one where you see things in practice. This lineup, maybe with the exception of Creek, would have seen a fair bit of time together in practice.
So a timeout called, a minute 56 remaining. Joe Chi, we spoke about him pre-game. We spoke about his form when it comes against playing Melbourne United. Has 10 points on a perfect 5 of 5.
He's just a lot more comfortable going up against a long, tall big. And you see him down here. This is just Joe Chi going about his business. A fast start, 5 of 5 from the field. A lot of post touches, making a real target out of him. And he's going to work, reeling over the left shoulder, reeling over the right, and putting points on the board.
Averages 17 points, 10 rebounds, and 4.5 blocks a game against Melbourne United this season. Against the rest of the competition, Joe Chi averages 9 points, 6 rebounds, and a block. It's a remarkable set of numbers when it comes to playing in the throwdown. Speaking of greats in the building tonight, Olympian Steve Hooker.
One of the greats. In fact, 2004, wasn't it? And when he won the, was it 2004? Gold medals, something, geez, I should know that. Yes, it was. 2008, excuse me, in the Beijing Olympics, pole vault gold medalist.
Sure was.
And a superstar.
It's Brad Newley. Finds himself having free throws. Still to come later tonight, we head to the west. The Perth Wildcats take on the New Zealand Breakers. We talk about teams with alarming trends. The Phoenix have lost 6 of their last 7. The Perth have lost their last 3 at home. That just does not happen.
No.
Well, not since 1999, I think, was on the commentary, mentioned that the other night.
That's all still to come on a bumper Thursday doubleheader here in the Hungry Jacks NBL. Ashley takes his turn in the low block. Lost the handle and it's out of bounds.
Well, it's starting to become a real concern now. That's the 5th turnover in this quarter. Melbourne United have only got the 1.
Turnovers have been a problem for the Phoenix. They're second last in the competition this season. They average 11 a game. Unfortunately, they've had 5 in this opening quarter. Peatling gets busy. Elevates with the left hand.
Good take. Peatling. Not something we're used to seeing, him ripping it from the perimeter and scoring off the bounce. That was well done.
Melbourne United have scored the last 8 points of the game. That changes off the back of an unlikely 3-ball from Brandon Ashley. He shot that like he meant it. Nice take from Agata. Free throws coming for Melbourne.
He has that ability, Brandon Ashley, to pick and pop and stretch the defense out, but we haven't seen it a lot in the Phoenix jersey this season. Saw it a little bit for the Breakers 2 years ago. Seen plenty of that from Caleb Agata.
Brandon Ashley,
this year.
Sorry, Liam, but when you look at his stats, he's only taken three-point field goal attempts the entire season. So again, that was one that Melbourne United would be thinking, hey, we'll see what he can do from there before we really make too many defensive adjustments.
Final minute of the opening quarter. It was Southeast Melbourne early, led by as much as 6 in the opening stages. But Melbourne United, their first quarter form continues. Adnam found a way through.
When we talk about X factors, this is the guy for the Phoenix for me in terms of an X factor potential impact. Kyle Adnam, and hasn't really been there over the past month or so.
They've gone away from him as far as his minutes. His minutes have come down over the last 6 or 7 games, and it's like they've made a decision that Ruafa was going to be the man, and just hasn't been seeing the time. And we saw in that Cairns game, came in and gave him a real spark. Had a couple of sloppy turnovers, granted, but he came in and gave him a spark offensively. And you're right, when you think of X factors, he has the potential to do that. The superstars have to be superstars, and someone like Kyle Adnam needs to come on and give him that spark off the bench, and that offensive spark that he's capable of doing.
Guarding Illy. He's tripped down the floor for Melbourne. His shot clock's in single figures. Illy plays through the contact. No whistle. It'll be a Melbourne ball from the baseline. Superb on Monday night, Shea Illy. 12 points, 5 steals. Just an enormous presence from the moment that he stepped foot on the floor at RAC Arena.
He's a game changer, what he can do defensively. Vickerman brings Golding in for the last play of the quarter.
Here he is on cue for that very reason.
That's his first field goal attempt.
Phoenix with one last chance. Mumford can launch. That doesn't go from Tarangi. Melbourne finish the quarter with a flurry and have 29 on the board after 1. That's a 5-point lead for United in Throwdown 16 in the Hungry Jacks NBL. Throwdown 16 at John Cain Arena at quarter time. It's Melbourne United who lead 29-24. Joe Chi, the star of the opening term for the South East Melbourne Phoenix. He has 10 points, but this well-oiled Melbourne United machine have roared back to life. And Joe Luala-Chul, you can see what it means to him. This game, a lot on the line for both teams. The winner of our Kmart gift card for tonight, $50 to Jody Rear. That's Millie, who loved meeting the Phoenix cheerleaders. It was the South East Melbourne Phoenix who started the quarter, Liam, but it was Melbourne who finished it.
Yeah, they cashed in on some turnovers. Simon Mitchell spoke about during the week. You've got to be resilient through the Melbourne United pressure. So 5 first quarter turnovers. United got off to the races in transition and built themselves a first quarter lead.
Joe Luala-Chul, their leading scorer with 7. So the big men for both teams having a big say on the game as Newley steps out of bounds.
Yeah, it is. Both teams shooting the ball well. 9 of 18 for the Phoenix and 11 of 19. Really good shooting by Melbourne United, and the way they put the heat on the rim. And they've been able to get to the free throw line already 8 times. 6 of 8 from the free throw line. So a good first quarter by Melbourne United.
Back down to Chi. This time kicks out for Munford. Good look from up top. That jumps out.
But here's the thing, 29 points. The issue for the Phoenix is their defense. Just can't get stops. 24 points at 50% before that last shot. Tick, you know, the turnovers are an issue. But down here has been the problem, and they've been helped by United with a couple of turnovers to start this second quarter.
The stat hasn't been that way all season long, but now, particularly on the back of their last 7 games, they're now second last in the competition for points conceded per game. Now, I know that's not the only way that you measure defensive ratings and whatnot, but they're giving up 85 points a game, Drew.
Yeah, and it's the efficiency in which they give it up as well. Munford snakes his way into the paint for the 2. So this next quarter for Phoenix and for the rest of the game and the rest of the season, it's going to be determined by what they do defensively. They can score. We've seen that.
Does that hold up in finals, though?
Not if you don't play defense. But they won't have the chance to get to finals unless they play some defense.
I reckon there's been a better energy about the Phoenix.
Tonight there has. I think the body language has been better. Certainly that Cairns game.
Yeah.
It looked...
They're not playing scared in this one like they have looked in these last couple of games. Scared of losing. They're having a crack.
There's Dellavedova off the inbound. They run that play so often, that quick little give and go from the baseline ball. That time it was Delhi. The Bubba got a hand in the passing lane. Creek managed to just hang on to possession. Now Liafa tees it up. His struggles from outside continue. Well, Bubba feeling confident. Eventually, Ruben Tarangi comes up with it.
That last one from Liafa, that's the kind of look they don't need.
No,
double digits on the shot clock. Joe Chi in the block. You can get something better.
Munford over the top of Bubba. He wanted a foul.
You're spot on, Liam. That was a case of a guy that says, well, listen, I haven't been involved offensively. I haven't had a shot, so I'm just going to let one fly without context in the game. And it was the poor shot selection. And you say that on the basis he's only had, that was only what's the first field goal attempt, but it's still a bad one. And Munford, that's a better look for him. And some people...
I mean, he forced the issue, didn't he, Drew? But
of course, but
so be it.
Correct.
You know, from a Phoenix perspective, that's the guy you want the ball in the hands of.
That is the key point. Is certain people have licenses, other ones have still got less of a license.
Joe Chi sits down with his second foul. Nice knockdown from the vet. Brad Newley was tailed off a little in the middle of the season, is playing some valuable minutes for Melbourne United right now. Munford tried to force it that time and couldn't score. The 7-footer bringing the ball up the floor. Barlow. No good on a milestone night for him. Game number 200.
200 for Melbourne United.
For Melbourne United, yes. He's played a million here in the Hungry Jacks NBL. 200 for Melbourne United. Just finished from Ashley.
He's been great for that club. Won championships for the Kings, for the Melbourne Tigers. here with Melbourne United, and his veteran leadership not having the kind of individual season he has in recent years, but invaluable in terms of how he leads on and off the floor with that team.
Game number 359 in total.
And he's transitioning as well, I think, because he's taken on the responsibility to be the head coach of the Sandringham Sabres in the NBL1 competition. So I don't know what his long-term plans are from playing. And you look at him, and the man keeps himself in shape. So physically, he looks like he's still, if he's got the motivation, may want to go around again. But he's certainly coming to the closing stages of an illustrious career.
He sits down. Ashley trying to get busy on Luala Chul. He's going to have to play some big minutes in this second quarter. Phoenix down 5. Foul on Tarangi, who's just signed a contract extension. Going to be with the Phoenix for another 2 years.
We've seen a couple of those take place around the league these last couple of rounds. Matt Kenyon.
Yep. What a story that is.
With Tassie outstanding. Tarangi, the numbers haven't been there for him the last couple of years, no doubt about it, ever since his best six-man, most improved player campaign for the Bullets. But they like his intangibles and what he gives them at the defensive end.
Not that time for Golding. And Munford sees only Dellavedova up ahead. Nice drive, and those points are going to count.
Goal 10, Jack White going up where very few people can go. And
except if you're in Geelong.
Don't fall.
Roll the footage. We got the footage.
Oh, I've got it. If you need to see it's on the laptop.
I had no idea the air was so thin in Geelong, that's all.
Well, the rims was so... I mean, nah, it's...
Nosebleed touchdown.
How's this for a heads-up play from Mitch Creek? Saw Ashley up ahead, but very nearly came off. Melbourne led it by 5 at quarter time. The lead is 3 currently, midway through this second quarter.
Thanks, Simon. Appreciate that.
Isaiah Liafa yet to score in the game. Feeds Ashley. Got to his right hand. Nice finish.
It's a beautiful move.
Really nice.
Took him to the middle. Real quick drop step. And gets it to go. Have a look. So he's going to get to his position. Reads the defense. Porty trying to take away the middle. Just comes a little high. And really well read by Brandon Ashley there. To be able to drop step and put it off the glass softly. And
you're both getting to the spot at the same time. You're just body to body. There's nothing illegal, there's nothing dirty about it. Thank you. You do exactly the same thing, or exactly the same call.
Michael Aylen, one of our senior officials.
We saw Owen Foxwell check in that first quarter. Second quarter minutes here for Lachlan Barker. The nominated replacement player coming into the lineup today. Cam Glidden, a late out with gastro. Shout out to him. Hope he's feeling okay. But geez, they are going deep into the rotation in this first half.
well, Lockie Barker has played in 10 games and had some big moments as well. And so he's a little bit more experienced. Oh, just some little bit of chin music there by Matty Dellavedova with the elbows.
Be careful where you put your head there, Lockie.
Fresh cut, Drew.
Nice.
That is a TV haircut. That's fresh. Lockie Barker, one of the best players in the country in the NBL1 competition.
No, he's an absolute beauty and can light it up from the perimeter. There's a place for Lockie Barker in the NBL, make no mistake about it. There's a role for him. He doesn't take a backward step from anyone. He plays with such passion and enthusiasm, really good basketball IQ. Love what he brings, and he's making the most of his opportunity he's got this season.
Delaying game here as we get some of the sweat off the court.
What do you make of these rotations, Drew? Going to the DP in Owen Foxwell that first quarter came out, hit the 3 ball.
Yeah, 2 ways to think of it. They've been poor, lost 6 out of the last 7, so thinking, well, we've got to change things up. Now, this is not the sort of change up that I thought they'd bring, as Chris Golding just does what Chris Golding does and knocks down a tough 3. But this seems to be like a gamble and just trying something different. And so far, the gamble's been paying off. Foxwell gave him some good minutes. But it's, to me, a little unusual.
Hookporty. Guarded by Ashley. And that's, according to Chris Reed, that's last touch by the Phoenix.
And they're the kind of plays Southeast Melbourne can't let happen. The miss here from Hookporty. Now you got to block out, got to keep him on your back there, Mitch Creek. As Jack White comes in, surrounded by 3 Phoenix players and wins it back for United.
They lead it by 4. Dellavedova pulls the trigger.
Wow.
4 of 8 from outside when they played in round 15. That's his second knockdown from outside tonight. And that 3 ball, which we spoke a lot about at the start of the season, is really working for him as Ariel Hookporty swats that out of the sky. White to the other end. The follow-up from Illy even better.
Well, there's a case of your defensive transition and Shea Illy just wanting it more than the Phoenix. They had the bodies down there. He just comes flying in and with the easy putback. Great work by Hookporty, the good weak side help. Now look they're running in a wave. You're thinking down there, the bodies are there, but Shea Illy comes into the screen and looking, you see the trailing, you see Mumford there not really going as hard as he needs to go when your season's on the line.
Timeout with 4:27 before halftime. Let's get courtside to Jenny Screen.
Guys, I'm here with some pretty flashy and flair kind of players, and they're from the Harlem Globetrotters in the US. I got Scooter and Zeus. Now, welcome back to Australia, guys. I know that you've been here.
That's right.
Zeus, this is your first time. What's it like to be like down under?
It is amazing. It's not what I thought it would be. People told me there was going to be spiders as big as my hand. Haven't seen them yet.
Have you tried Vegemite yet?
No, not yet. What's that?
Okay, well, Scooter, you've got to make sure that he tries some Vegemite. It's something you put on your bread, but make sure you have more butter. Now, Scooter,
yes.
Talk to us about Spread the Game Tour. What is it about? What can we expect?
Well, with the game, we bring joy. We make people laugh. We make people smile. We add a lot of new elements to the game. We got the 4-point shot, which is 35 feet away from the rim. We got a dunk contest. We added a lot of new characters. It's not your average basketball game, but people are going to feel good when they go home.
I love that. And you've been a Globetrotter now for how long?
17 long years.
Now, Zeus, you look like a little bit more like you're a rookie on the program.
Well, I'm a little younger. I've been on the team for 11 years, though.
Damn, gentlemen. Well, enjoy the tour. They'll be here in Melbourne, regional Victoria. Make sure you check out NBL.com.au for more details. Enjoy the game, gentlemen.
There it is. Thank you.
Great to have Scooter and Zeus here. As Jen said, you can check it out on the NBL website. Grab your tickets now and get ready to create memories for the whole family. The fouls on Golding. Lockie Barker staying in the game.
A little surprised also when you're thinking about, well, how can... There's 3 fouls in Chris Golding, so there's the first pivotal foul situation. A little surprised that Joe Chi, he's come in, he's had perfect 5 of 5 from the field and hasn't seen too much action in this second quarter.
Has 2 fouls, Drewy. Would you?
I don't. Right now, you take him out, you give him a spell, but does that mean you're going to leave him out for the entire quarter?
That's the way it's looking at this stage. Illy no good. And Mumford has 10 points. And is causing a few problems for the Melbourne United defensive structure.
They're on the attack, aren't they? They've gone big most of the game, the Phoenix, and they've pounded the ball inside, gone into the low block and try and hard to attack the rim, but get on the front foot off the bounce, and Xavier Mumford's getting some work done. 10 points, as you say, 5 of 10 from the field. And
we'll keep an eye on Ariel Hook-Porty there, who shuffled off the court at John Cain Arena, looked a little sore. Ashley, shot clock at 9, picks up his dribble. Creek a long way from the basket, nice move.
They've done a pretty good job on Creek. That was only his 5th field goal attempt, he's 2 of 5, and that was a tough one. Gets in the traffic and able to finish. Need to find a way to get him a little bit more involved as well.
Only 5 field goal attempts in the game so far. Late in the clock. Agata's going to have to force it. It drops. That'll do.
That's tough. Simon Mitchell and the Phoenix. 23 seconds of good defense.
They maintain that 7-point lead. Liafa with his first field goal of the game. And it's back to 5. 2.5 minutes remaining before halftime. And throw down 16. Ashley picks up his 2nd foul. So now, back to your earlier point, Drew, his decision time. Brandon Ashley with 2 fouls. Joe Chi with 2 fouls.
Even if you're doing well and you've got those fouls, and I can understand and appreciate Simon Mitchell, both those 2 players have not earned a lot of trust because of the way in which they get themselves into foul trouble. But you also, when you're sitting on the sideline for such a long period of time, it can really hurt your momentum and rhythm in the game. And sometimes, even if you just come in for short spurts, just get another 3 minutes here or whatever it may be, just to stay connected in the game. And now we've got Barker and Foxwell on at the same time.
There is something that I did not think we would be saying tonight. Creek. Guarded by Illy. Has the size advantage. Wants to make the most of that. Almost lost the handle. Pinot's been in there for too long.
We just lost the handle at the crucial moment. Mitch Creek pounding away at Shea Illy on the block. And as he went to spin his way into the middle, lost the handle. The turnover resulted.
A super important 2 minutes on the way to halftime for both teams. Nice deep from Liafa. Gets the ball back for South East Melbourne. Liafa, Pinot, Foxwell, Barker and Creek out there right now for the home team. Luala Chul, Agata, White, Bubba and Illy for the visitors.
Well, they're over the limit. Melbourne United, that foul on Bubba sets Creek to the stripe. Here's Simon Mitchell on the sidelines, barking about drawing fouls, getting to the free throw line. Creek with his first trip there right now.
Here we go.
21-5-4 in their loss last week to the Cairns Taipans. He certainly did his bit.
Well, he certainly rallied. He was down in that first half and a bit, and then when it got desperate, he went to a level that gave them a chance.
A win tonight for the Phoenix. They'll go to 5th. And a loss will have them in a position they do not want to be in with 4 games remaining after tonight. Luala Chul, this is from right underneath. Still working for it. Can't get it done. Creek with the right hand. Gets his own rebound and one.
Tough. Just stayed with it. Mitch Creek, the length and athleticism of Jack White, got a piece of the first one. And Creek stayed with the play. Here you see White vertical, quite get a piece, forced the miss, and then good strong work from Creek finishing through the contact.
Joe, big Joe. Wow, Chul just jumped forward there. Not a lot of contact, but just that forward motion and that minimal contact was the thing that brought him undone and draws the foul. Real good couple of minutes by Phoenix. They've been let off the hook a bit down the other end with the easy baskets not made.
That extra missed as well. Owen Foxwell guarding a dual Olympian and NBA champion, Matthew Dellavedova. I'd be shocked if there wasn't a poster on the wall in Owen Foxwell's bedroom as a youngster growing up of Delhi. An opportunity for him and for Lachlan Barker to finish off this second quarter. Peatling turns around. Lachlan kept it alive for Melbourne. Bubba steps out of bounds.
Jeez, they've missed some bunnies. These last couple of minutes, Melbourne United, Lawala Chul and Peatling right at the rim.
Well, they have. They're also running into some turnover problems themselves. It's the 7th turnover now for Melbourne United. And have a look at this. Somehow or other, against the flow of the game, really. But Southeast Melbourne Phoenix take the lead.
They've scored the last 8. Dellavedova tries to break that trend. Momentum now with the Phoenix on the way to half-time. In what should be their last possession. Shot clock at 7. Ball in the hands of Mitch Creek. Guarded by Peatling. Hand in the face. No good. There's time for Bubba.
Good decision. Good decision. Heads up play from Liafa. Knew that they had a foul to give. Managed to stop the transition from Bubba and Melbourne United without giving up an unsportsmanlike foul.
In fact, wasn't far off of actually draw. He guessed the right way, we just didn't get there quick enough.
Melbourne call a timeout. Dean Vickerman wants to draw something up to finish off the term.
You can imagine Chris Golding comes back in the lineup. We saw that in the end of the first quarter. He's got the 3 fouls, but no issue there.
Dean Vickerman, Melbourne United coach, with his assistants, Reece Carter, Justin Schuler, and one of the greatest players to play in the Hungry Jacks NBL, Darryl McDonald.
You got a quick skill. Yes, we can. Got it. All right, we're right here though, Bella. All right, all the way up. 4-man, you're gone. You got that pick. It's coming round 2 right now. And that's straight to the corner. All right, want to pin that one in, Mace. You want to pin that one right in for Caleb Cummett. Yeah. CG in the high area. All right. I think it's probably going to be a heavy slip for you straight at the rim. All right. Here we go.
There's Ariel Hook-Porty, who we saw just in the bottom of our screen when he was subbed out. Look a little ginger. That's concerning on the eve of finals for Melbourne. Let's take a look at where we think he's picked up this injury.
Nothing there. Couldn't see anything. Any collision. So
check in on that at half-time. Last play of the first half. Golding. Yeah or no? Looked good out of the hand.
Looked very good.
It's Southeast Melbourne who lead by 1. Good fight back in the second quarter for them.
No, it was great, and I think that, like we said, with the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix, they can get the scoreboard ticking over. That's hasn't been a huge problem. This one here, a little bit of a breakdown, and Golding gets open, but it is unable to make it. But a few self-inflicted wounds by Melbourne United and a few missed shots, and Phoenix was able to get right back into this game.
Let's get courtside to Pete Hawley.
Well, Whitey, we always expect a battle in a throwdown. How do you see that first half?
I mean, yeah, it's a battle, as you said. You know, Southeast desperate. Their season's on the line, but we got to be better. You know, giving up 46 points, you know, the way we want to play our defense, you know, that's not acceptable for us.
Seeing some funky lineups from the Phoenix. How do you adapt to that in the second half to make sure you get this win?
I mean, we just got to take it as it comes. You know, we got to focus on us. You know, we definitely need to be better at the things that are in our control. Our talk needs to be better, our defense, and we believe that'll fuel everything for us.
Thanks, mate. Good luck in the second half. Well, we always expect fireworks in the throwdown, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to throwdown number 4 for NBL22. I'm here with Pete Hawley. Pools, it's been an entertaining first half. Probably not what we expected from Phoenix, and considering their rotations. Take us through those highlights for us from Hungry Jacks.
I mean, it was awesome from the Phoenix, and again, it was kind of a risk, as we discussed and the commentary team discussed, with throwing out Owen Fox, or throwing out these young guys, different lineups, and it paid off, because what it is going to bring, it's going to bring energy, and I'm sure Simon Mitchell's been wanting guys during the week to be able to come in and have an impact. Joe Luala-Shul, he's done his thing. Joe Cheese set a tone early, which he often does in these throwdowns, but I think both benches will be pretty good. Brad Newley came in, gave an impact. We saw Foxhall come in, Lockie Barker having a little bit of a spark. They're going to need their superstars to get them home, but this is what we expect from a throwdown.
It's pretty exciting stuff. when we look at the team stats, you've got to make mention of Mumford. He's been pretty good. We know in his last 4 games, his stats are up considering on his season. Mitch Creek is also leading all scorers with 11 points.
Well, you expect Mitch Creek to do that. Really slow out the gates in terms of trying to get his offense going. Munford was really aggressive. Joe Lual-Chul left a lot of points around. They're just hanging around. He's getting a lot of offensive rebounds off his own misses. As we have a look at the team stats as well, no one really lighting it up. 2 or 3 threes from the Phoenix. They normally take a lot of threes, only taking 8 threes, which is probably the more surprising thing. That ball hasn't been sitting around too much. I think guys are trying to make plays, but this sets up for a huge 20 minutes, not just for this game, but for the rest of the season.
Well, it's going to be an entertaining last 20 minutes. My mark's on Phoenix potentially for an upset here and let Sydney take the lead in the NBL22 ladder. Who have you got, Hools?
I mean, both teams, I think, are going to get revved up. Simon Mitchell's going to say how happy and impressed he was with what was going on from the bench guys. Dean Vickerman won't be as happy, so I've been a part of those sprays. I'm sure he's going to give it to them and they'll come out firing.
Either way, gentlemen, it's back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Jen, and thanks, Hools. It'll be fascinating to be a fly on the wall in both teams' change rooms at halftime. Drew, a game of runs and a game of momentum.
It is, and I think both coaches will be focusing in on their defence, and they need to do it. You look at the Phoenix, they've been able to shoot it at 51% for the evening, and Dean Vickerman wouldn't be happy with that. He wouldn't be happy with his turnovers, so he'd be concerned with the way that that second quarter unfolded.
Take us through the battle of the big men tonight. We highlighted it pre-game, Joe Chi and Joe Lual-Chul.
Yeah, it's been great, and they came out of the blocks, and you look at the 10 points, but 0 in the second quarter because it's hard to score when you're on the bench. He picked up those 2 fouls. They decided to keep him there, but he had a great start, presented a target, and down the other end, Joe Lual-Chul, he looked good as well. The 5 boards, the 7 points, he was getting off the bounce. He actually missed a few bunnies that you normally expect him to make around the basket. So both those two guys are significant factors in doing well.
Liam Santamaria always doing well when he's in the video analysis centre. Liam, you've taken a really close look at some things that have mattered from the opening half.
Well, Melbourne United, all season long, they've been hanging around that top of the table because they're elite defensively and their offensive transition is tough to stop. You need to be absolutely on point, running back and defending against these guys, and we saw it in that first quarter. The way they turned defence into offence here, they grabbed the defensive rebound here, Matthew Dellavedova, and we'll pause it there. This is a problem for the Phoenix straight away. They're playing 5-on-4, and watch the way in which these bigs from Melbourne United run the floor. Joe Lual-Chul and Jack White. Daly kicks it ahead. Bang, because the big fella is lagging behind, Mitch Creek is guarding 2 guys, Joe Lual-Chul and Jack White, 2-on-1. That's a bucket every day of the week. And another example right here, here's Mitch Creek in the block, going 1-on-1 with Jack White. He blocks it. They clear the defensive rebound. Again, Daly grabs it. And you can see here Mitch Creek checking over his left shoulder because his man, Jack White, is out of the picture back here. But you've got to keep running because if you slow down, Joe Lual-Chul's going to keep running and he throws it down, the big fella. And another example, down low, they work the ball around the Phoenix and Xavier Mumford attacks, and all of a sudden, as a Porty throws it away, here's Xavier Mumford behind the play, and it's catch up from there for the Phoenix as Jack White rams it down their throat and Shaili cleans up the mess. If you're the South East Melbourne Phoenix, you've got to get back on D and stop Melbourne United in transition.
It's a 1-point game at halftime here in Throwdown 16. Don't go too far. The third quarter is coming up next in the Hungry Jacks NBL.
Halftime at John Cain Arena. Here's the Harlem Globetrotters doing their thing at halftime, and it won't be long before you can see them at John Cain Arena. Saturday, the 9th of July. Some shows going on all around the country. Brisbane, Sydney, Perth, the Adelaide Entertainment Centre as well. NBL.com.au/HG 2022. You can grab your tickets, very affordable, fun for the whole family.
It certainly is. It's a great night's entertainment, and they do a good job of engaging the crowd and getting everyone involved. And this one here needs a bit of engagement as well, because although the score is very even, it's been a tale of points in the paint. Did you see that stat of points in the paint in the second quarter? Phoenix had 18, United had 2, and it flipped the script because in the first quarter it was United 20 and Phoenix 10. So both teams really trying to pound the paint and get it in there, and whoever's having success gets that run.
Joe Chi back out there to start this third term. Spent a lot of the second quarter on the bench for 2 fouls. There he is. 10 points, all in the opening quarter. Arthur gets the big man involved as he rolls to the basket.
And they're the points in the paint that the Phoenix have been getting, pounding it into the block, curling into the paint, getting the big fellas involved and attacking the rim. And for Melbourne United, their points in the paint number in that first quarter was in transition, predominantly. Their attack on the rim, heading down the floor.
Now White had to change his mind because of the presence of Chi. Tarangi this time, little backdoor cut.
Well, great start to the second half by the Phoenix. Good ball movement, good recognition with the passing.
There's Bubba getting on the board for his first points. I think his third game in his return for Melbourne United. Part of their championship winning team last season.
Fantastic pickup, in my view, what he brings to the table on the defensive end, and also the fact that there's no adjustment period. He knows the system, he knows the city, knows the coach.
It didn't take long for Dean Vickerman to get him back in the starting lineup.
Well, with Caleb Agata going down with that injury, that opened up a spot for him.
Dellavedova, 8 points in the opening quarter. 2 of 3 from outside. It's guarded by Chi. Misses everything.
This has been sloppy by Melbourne United. Turnover, poor shot that time, and Dean Vickerman, I think, agrees with my assessment of how they've come out. He's called a timeout. He's not happy with what he's seeing at both ends of the floor. There's the turnover we're talking about. Gets Melbourne United, but look at his passing. Here, extra pass. Here, good cut by Tarangi. Easy too.
We're about to head into the Melbourne United timeout. In fact, we won't be heading into the Melbourne United timeout. Dean Vickerman, the coach, has chosen to stand up, and generally we know what that means.
Yeah, fair enough, too. He's not afraid to pull the quick trigger timeouts. Dean Vickerman, the start of a half, the start of a first quarter, if they're not executing what he's put on the board, what they've spoken about at halftime, and well and truly making that point right now.
A few nods of the head from some of the Melbourne players as well, just accepting that it hasn't been the start that they would be looking for. They are generally a pretty good third quarter team, Melbourne United, third in the competition. Averaged 21 points after halftime. Just been a little slow to get going.
They have, and what else with the Phoenix, just the ease at which they can get to the basket. 54%, well, they've rounded up, 53.7 is some outstanding shooting. They've only taken 9 three-point field goal attempts, 3 of 9. Now, they're not a prolific three-point shooting team at the best of times. They only average 26 attempts a game, and probably wise because they only shoot it at 30% from the three-point line.
Speaking of that,
just as I said that,
he's feeling confident.
Ruben Tarangi.
0 for 7 from three-point territory over his last 3 coming into this one.
That's the third time in a row Melbourne United have stepped out of bounds on the sideline.
It's a couple of times for Bubba. He's not wearing a pair of shoes that are too big for him, is he?
Brad Newley did it earlier on. Bubba's done it twice now. Just just losing their bearings.
It's been a good start to the third quarter for South East Melbourne. Chi could have picked up a foul for a hold. No call from the officials. White almost lost it. Takes it at Chi. The long arms did enough.
We handled it well. They go at him. He's got those 2 fouls, but just went vertically.
He backs in, uses his strength and scores 7 unanswered points for South East Melbourne. And they've kept Melbourne to 2 since half-time. White from outside, no good. The Phoenix with their biggest lead of the game right now at 10 points. Season on the line. They're digging deep in the third quarter. That's an offensive foul.
I think they got him for the hook.
We saw the top scorers in the ball game. Here it is again. Chi, Creek, and Mumford. They're the 3 guys the Phoenix need to be playing through. We've been talking about that all year long, and they've been doing it tonight. A little bit of extra Tarangi. There's the left elbow called for the hooking foul. He's been heavily involved these last few minutes, but over 50% of their field goal attempts coming from that big 3.
No finish for Hook Porty, who's back out there. This is Golding, who has 3 fouls to his name. Now Illy, a little quieter in that first half. Found White on the lob, and he's fouled.
Like 7, hit, 2.
We saw it in the first half, in the first quarter, and we're seeing it again here in the third. The DP, Owen Foxwell, the young fella who played a good 6 minutes there in that first half. First guy off the bench for the Phoenix in this third quarter.
Rangi's got 4 now, so that's a blow because he's came on, and particularly that start, this first few minutes of this third period has been very productive.
Plus 11 in his time out on the floor tonight, Ruben Tarangi.
Solid.
Punch it in.
Joe Chi, the leading scorer in the game with 14. Xavier Munford has 10. Melbourne United don't have a player in double figures at this stage. Liafa left open. Just cannot find the bottom of the net from outside right now. His last 3 games, 6 of 19 coming into tonight. He's 0 from 2. It's Golding. Draws a foul.
Yeah, third foul, Jack, on Joe Chi. Simon Mitchell frustrated.
Here we go.
I'm sure there was a great deal in that.
They're going to bring him out of the game, but they haven't got Ashley up to the score table quick enough. She's out there defending.
She didn't do a lot wrong. He stepped out, and it was more like who was making the contact. Golden just drives into his legs, and
I think Simon Mitchell
back.
had a point. Hook Porty. His whistle.
115.
Little wrestling match on the low block.
That's a good call. The official, a little overly physical there from Hook Porty. They're juggling some foul trouble, the Phoenix. As he said, Tarangi with 4. Chi's checking out now with 3. Simon Mitchell's been talking all week about stepping up their physicality. They're paying a little bit of a price with the foul count, but it's playing out well for them across the rest of the floor.
It's playing out well for Mitch Creek right now. He's up to 13 points.
Well, we've seen some breakdowns from Melbourne United, which we weren't seeing against the Perth Wildcats a few days ago. And there's a hard drive and a hard foul. But to me, it's the defence of Melbourne United now. We've been speaking about the problems the South East Melbourne Phoenix have been having, but this looks nothing like the defence we saw Melbourne United put on the Perth Wildcats. And the easy buckets they've been able to get, little back cuts, extra pass around the rim.
See Chris Golding come out here, draw a couple of fouls. Think back to the last throwdown when the Phoenix had that big double-digit lead. They kept Chris Golding awfully quiet throughout the game. And then he blew up in that final term. He spoke post-game about just reading the way that they were playing him and getting a better feel for it in the second half. You get a sense right now he's feeling, you know what, there's fouls to be drawn here. These guys are trying to get up and in and show hard on these screens, crawl into the ball. And he's come out here in this second half here and trying to get to the free throw line.
I'm a little surprised to see Mitch Creek come out. He's made a couple of baskets and they bring Dane Pinot into the contest. I'm pretty sure there's only going to be a brief rest for Creek.
Ashley, no foul, it's tipped back out to the advantage of South East Melbourne, who lead by 8. Montfort forced into a tough shot, and that is a problem for the Phoenix because Brandon Ashley has picked up his turn.
He was just reckless on the rebounding contest there. Watch Chris Golding block him out, and he just shoves him in the back like he's going to get away with it.
Did he really shove him that hard to force Chris Golding to go flying out like that, do you think, Liam?
Well, it is Chris Golding, so you're going to get a little extra mustard on the hot dog. But
gee, it didn't look all that vicious to me. Now, I guess if you're Brandon Ashley, you've got to understand that you can't afford to do that, but there wasn't a whole lot in it.
Should let him sit.
Young kid saw it. God, it was enough close, but he saw it, mate. Just decides not to fall.
Golding makes the second. Toy Smith-Milner checking in for his first minutes tonight. Here's that last foul. Let's have a look at Brandon Ashley.
Definitely pushed. I'm not disputing the fact that he gives him a little shove, but there's a little extra put on that, I think.
Nice pass, Liafa for Smith-Milner.
It's a third or fourth time, a simple on ball, and they're showing and they're getting so deep in that roll, they're able to capitalise on the extra pass.
Liafa with 6 assists tonight. That's a win for the Phoenix. They're going to get the ball back.
Tried to thread the needle here. Golding it was a beautiful look. Hit him right in the hands.
Foxwell. One big knockdown tonight already. Not that time. Melbourne a little dry in this third quarter offensively. That will help their cause.
That's just beautiful execution. They hard show on the screen and the roll-up, and then it's the extra and the extra pass, and they're playing catch-up. They're helping each other, and eventually just got too deep, and Peatling finishes around the rim. Good passing. Love it when you see those 3 or 4 passes. The ball doesn't touch the floor. Just good man movement and take advantage.
Kyle Adnam checks back in. Peatling can't finish off the extra. As we approach 4 minutes before three-quarter time. And throw down 16. As Peatling's hands were good. Golding pulling up in transition. Off the back of the iron, Foxwell with the rebound. The Phoenix 6th on the table, 12 wins and 11 losses. They give it up that time. Agata short. They get another chance. Golding, feet set.
Timeout.
You know the rest.
They need it. The Phoenix. Big hit from Golding. Huge minutes here for South East Melbourne in the context of their season. Yeah, funky lineup out there on the floor.
Super funky.
No Mitch Creek, no Joe Chi. a bunch of their starters chilling on the bench, and Golding goes whack.
And I'm not sure
4-point game.
This lineup's going to get it done. I know the guys got fouls, but I think I'd be riding a few of them.
You can now get your own personalised NBL highlights and content. It's available on the NBL fan channel. You can check it out at nbl.com.au. Register for free. Start building your own personalised content today. I reckon there'll be a few Wildcats fans who have already done that for Bryce Cotton. We're going to see him and his team up next when they take on the New Zealand Breakers at RAC Arena.
And then they're into the on-ball. All right. As you come off this one, keep sitting right at that nail as much as we can. All right. If we can stop the after coming downhill with the guard, you guys can be in your quick show and get out of there. All right. You're still the support. All right. How far you can come with that shooter. Hey, we got bonus. Don't settle right now. Up fakes. Put it on the deck a little bit more. Here we go.
They've scored the last 5. They were down double digits. A team of this quality, they're not going to go away lightly.
You see here there, Dean Vickerman addressing what they're doing at the defensive end, exactly what you've been talking about, Drew. Just making sure they're a little bit more solid at that end of the floor. Phoenix getting into the paint a little too easily. And then encouraging them to get on the attack. The Phoenix racking up the fouls in this quarter. Free throws the rest of the way.
Single figures, all 3 games this season in the throwdowns, the margins. We look as though we're headed to something similar again tonight. First game of round 19. Adam gets it back with 4 on the shot clock. Heads in and scores up against the tall timber.
It wasn't pretty, but it was effective. A lot of dribbling without much impact, but eventually Kyle Adam just puts it on the deck and finishes around the rim.
Breaks a little run that Melbourne were building. Phoenix fans wanted to travel. Late in the clock, Dellavedova. Peatling will have to shoot. Nice defensive possession from the Phoenix.
Strong defensive stance. Liafa physical in the block. Kyle Adner moving his feet on the perimeter. They get the stop.
Both teams will play again this weekend. Melbourne will travel to Cairns on Sunday. South East Melbourne will travel to Bendigo to take on the Breakers.
And that right there, Jack, that's the kind of play Simon Mitchell was talking about in terms of physicality. Well, we saw Liafa defensively down the other end, but here didn't settle for the floater over the top of the shot blocker, went at his body, engaged the contact, tried to finish through it, and he's getting to the free throw line.
It hasn't been spectacular, but it's just been accumulating. Mitch Krieg, he's got the 13 points. He's plus 14, so he's been effective when he's been out on the floor.
He's only got the 1 foul.
Yeah,
Joey. Really can't see any need for him to come out the rest of the way.
A lot of speculation about his future beyond this season, Mitch Krieg.
There's reports on the NBL website that both Mitch Krieg is likely to re-sign, and also that Simon Mitchell, a bit of speculation about his future, that he is likely for a multi-year extension. There's Kyle Adnam just trying to get in front of Matthew Dellavedova. And I like that. I like when the team's in the bonus and you've got a guy like Delly with that strength, put him on the box, see if Kyle Adnam can guard him. At that time, just trying to get in front and get...
Put him on the line and these guys aren't ever going to call one for him.
Ever.
Maybe not ever. Foul count
ever
is 17 to 12 in favour of Melbourne United.
Captain and coach, mid-conversation, mid-game.
Well, I think that conversation he was had with Kyle Adams was more directed at the officials. He was talking to Kyle Adams, but he was trying to get a message to the officials.
A little cheeky little smirk probably gave it away.
65-58. Phoenix have done a lot of good work in this third quarter. This hasn't been their cleanest set offensively.
A lot of dribbling, just so much dribbling going on. They get that ball humming around a little bit. It's just getting a little sticky in the hands. Here's a stat for you. The 5 minutes after the Phoenix led by 12 points in the fourth quarter in round 15, South East Melbourne averaged 9.1 dribbles per possession in their front half, like they had there, and scored 3 points. Melbourne, on the flip side, averaged 4 bounces and scored 15 points. Moral to the story, a long time ago, last time they played, less dribbling produces more points.
Shout out Paolo Kennedy.
My word.
Yes.
And
our website.
And for our man
that
as
was
well.
some of your work,
No.
Liam.
No, that's the great PK.
Well done, PK.
You know what they say, research is not just a suburb, Liam.
No.
Our man has done his work for Throwdown
Well,
16.
just reading.
Cafes of research.
It's just other people's work.
Pouring over the numbers. But you're right, Drew. And that's what, you know what, Melbourne United's defence sometimes creates that in their opponents.
Well, pass the ball,
they play on the high side. They deny those catches. They keep the ball in the hands of one guy. And you've got to find ways to execute through it.
Correct. And a little passing and cutting can help that. And the numbers back it up.
10th turnover for Melbourne. Munford took it straight at hook Porty.
There you see it again. Their determination, the Phoenix, to get at the rim, to go at the bodies of the shot blockers, create contact.
Yeah, that's a foul. Just the arms come down. He just got to stay vertical. Just bringing the arms down to have a swipe at that ball brought him undone. Just stay vertical. And have a better chance of avoiding the foul. You can still be intimidating with his size. He just needs to stay vertical. He doesn't always have to reach out and make contact with the ball.
Munford takes care of business from the free throw line. 90 seconds before three-quarter time.
Huge 90 seconds. We see that Foxwell-Barker backcourt back out there for South East Melbourne.
Faith being shown in the youngsters. Our Phoenix coach Simon Mitchell. Lualachul at the elbow, dribbles his way in and elevates over the top of Pinot.
Well, they've done a good job. You've seen the last few possessions, they're trying to post up their guards. And they've done a good, real job. Forced a turnover a couple of possessions ago with Matthew Dellavedova. And that time it was just putting it to the deck, as Munford says.
Too fast off the dribble.
Well, they're trying to deny him the catches, Munford. Agata sitting on top of him and trying to keep the ball out of his hands. And he caught it, ripped it through, and got on the rim.
He's got 14. Chee's got 14. Mitch Creek, the leading scorer in the game, with 15. Agata spinning. Looked out of control, but found his way in.
Looked like he got a push away with a push-off as he come off that screen. Just
shot clock switched off. Final possession of the third quarter. The ball's in the hands of their number one man. He had his shot blocked. Agata pulls up. It doesn't go. It's the Phoenix with their season on the line, who have to stare it in the face at three-quarter time. They lead by 7 in Throwdown 16. It's the Phoenix who lead by 7 points. They're going well. Pardon me, and so are Lifesavers. Might have had one stuck in my throat just then. They've launched a new range of Fruit Tingles chocolate balls and chocolate block. Available in supermarkets. The new chocolate range is a fun new way to enjoy the iconic and nostalgic Fruit Tingle Lifesavers as we get courtside to Jenny Screen.
Three-quarter timeout from the Dean Vickerman. Talked about where the ball became too stagnant. 2-second catch. If you got nothing, move it on. We had them in the bonus for over 5 minutes and we didn't use it, gentlemen. Fourth quarter is when we're good. Let's get it done and remind ourselves of how good we were in round 15. Pete, what did you get from Southeast Melbourne Phoenix at three-quarter time?
Well, it was a very similar conversation from Simon Mitchell in terms of the ball sticking too much in the last couple minutes on the offensive end. He wanted to speed up. If you haven't got anything, kick it on. Less time with the ball hitting the floor in terms of dribbling. And then defensively, he said they've got to be physical. They're a bit smaller now with these guards. So if they try and post you up, be physical, hit the body first, and let's get this win.
Good stuff, guys. Here's Mumford from long range. Can't hit there. Melbourne take it away. It's not surprising to hear Vickerman talk about their offense. They dried up a little bit as Illy gets right to the rim. 2 quick buckets to start this fourth quarter. Stuck in the teens in both quarter 2 and quarter 3, Melbourne United. And the challenge for the Phoenix is they turn it over here.
And Jack White with the steal and the layup. 6 points in a minute. It's back to a 3-point game. Here come United.
Well, this is the start that Phoenix had to start of the third. Well, it's flipped. And Melbourne United have come out of the blocks and getting downhill. That time a sloppy turnover.
Well, that is not the start to the fourth that Simon Mitchell was looking for.
No, sir. Just giving the ball up too easily. We talk about momentum, Liam, and about taking it into a fourth quarter. They had momentum going into three-quarter time. Not anymore.
Well, Vickerman got the response he was after. Said, make quick decisions. Brad Newley, quick catch and rip right to the rim. That got them started. And a couple of stops, a couple of quick buckets. We've got a 1-point game.
69-68 still to come tonight. The Perth Wildcats play host to the New Zealand Breakers. We'll head there as soon as we finish up this one. The Wildcats desperately searching for a win. So how quickly it can change. Always the way in throwdowns. What started as a 7-point lead is now just a 1-point lead, and Southeast Melbourne might have been bailed out there.
Yeah, almost another turnover, and foul called on Joe Luala-Chul.
And that's a foul. Grabs him with the left arm, wraps him around, and Dean Vickerman probably couldn't see that, but you just sense that Melbourne United got gears. Yeah. They got some gears, and they can, and where you see it most is on the defensive end. And now it's becoming really tough for the Phoenix on the offensive end.
Nice move, back door from Golding. Melbourne in front.
And the bad memories probably flooding back right now for the Phoenix. That round 15 loss, they were up double digits. Geez, game 3 of the semi-final series.
Yeah, good. It's going from bad to worse. The jam from Jack White. Home fans stunned.
Look where he takes off from. Here, catches it, no bounce, 2 steps from the 3-point line, and just stuffs it in with some level of authority. 1, 2, and my goodness, that is some athleticism and power and momentum, all going the way of Melbourne United.
12 unanswered points.
Wow.
And quick.
What do the Phoenix do here, Liam? It feels like they're panicking.
Yeah, they need to settle down. They need to get the ball into Joe Chi in the block. Mitch Creek pick and roll, go back to their main guys and get a couple of stabilising buckets.
They go down to Chi. Spent a lot of time sitting down. When he's been out there like that, he's been unstoppable.
He's a good target. a really good target. Down low, if you give him some space to operate, Melbourne happy to go single coverage with Joe Luala-Chul, but I tell you, he's gone to work in that situation tonight. Joe Chi. He's got 16 on the board now, is the game-leading scorer, and he hasn't missed from the field. 8 of 8. That man needs more touches.
Well, they're trying to get it to him, and they just got to be cautious of just standing around. They throw it in there and it becomes really stagnant. Now, I know it has been effective, but that time there, Joe Luala-Chul just, the left hand got stuck. I don't even think he was trying to reach in. It just got caught in the hand of Joe Chi. And again, Joe Chi, he would love to play Melbourne United every single week.
He averages 17 against them across the season.
He's right on that net.
Yeah. Illy off target. All the heads prevail. Hadn't thought about firing away. Liafa. His floater misses. Tip back out. Phoenix get another look at things. Liafa puts a foot on the halfway line.
On a turnover. And this is where the point guard play comes into the equation. Isaiah Liafa, go back at Joe Chi. Good decision there, Mitch Creek. Good decision to not to force the issue, but here, back foot on the center line, and we're going the other way.
It's a double-figure lead in the third quarter for South East Melbourne. The lead was 7 at three-quarter time. Illy got caught up. Phoenix get it back. Creek drives. He's on the line.
Maybe a fourth personal on Luala-Chul. As Creek puts heat on the rim, and a little bit of frustration there from JLA with his teammate.
Just the arms coming down. See, not out of position, but then the arm coming down catches him on the wrist, and you could see that they're just a little frustrated. Jack White trying to get him to move on to the next play, and Joe Luala-Chul wasn't ready to move on to the next play.
No, not quite ready.
9 points, 8 rebounds, but just doesn't feel like he's been able to really get himself involved in the game. His numbers aren't horrible.
He's missed a couple in that first half that you'd normally expect him to make.
We do set higher standards for him now, though, don't we? Compared to 12 months ago.
Well, we do, and you think back earlier in the season, Joe Chi slightly outplayed him in their first matchup in round 2, but then JLA came out and put a 30-piece on the Phoenix and absolutely monstered Joe Chi in that matchup. But the Chinese center has well and truly responded in the couple of matchups since.
2-point lead for South East Melbourne. It's throwdown 16.
It's been a good minute and a half here because it started to look really messy for the Phoenix.
White drives and scores.
What's worked for him, Drewy? As we said, going through their main guys. Joe Chi in the block, Mitch Creek ripping it, getting on the attack. Got to play through those two.
That's out of bounds. Fourth quarters have been a significant problem for the South East Melbourne Phoenix this season. But in particular, in the throwdowns, they're minus 29 across the 3 games. They've won every other quarter. Jenny spoke about that. Dean Vickerman referenced it. Melbourne's strength in the fourth quarter. Golding unloads.
And that's not easy. He's going away from the basket, still able to come off it and knock it down. And a little too easy.
Good response, though, from the skipper.
Growing with confidence. Kyle Adnam as this game continues.
77 each. Bubba sent packing by Chi.
Hot guy! Hot guy!
United from the baseline. A little under 6 minutes remaining. Golding got his 3-ball away. Offensive rebound, Dellavedova. Now Golding to the rack. Rebound by Chi. 20 lead changes when the teams played in round 15. It's got a bit about it again in this fourth quarter. Tarangi, short. Tired legs out there for both teams. Bubba! No good. Look at some of these players walking up the floor. Still 5 minutes remaining. They're paying the price. Adnam again!
He's fresh.
Well, he's an X-factor. We spoke about him being an X-factor, and he's proving that right now. Come in and knock down a couple of three-point field goal makes in a very crucial time.
6 unanswered points for South East Melbourne, all coming from their captain. Here he is bringing the ball up the floor, feeling good about himself. He's backed himself into a bit of trouble, but they'll retain possession.
6 on the shot clock. They have a lot of time to play with. Here he is. Adnam, a little bit of space, a little bit of time, and he lets it fly. Huge couple of buckets from Adnam in this fourth quarter.
Joe Chi comes out. Brandon Ashley back in. Late in the clock. Tarangi's got to shoot. He's lost the handle either way. Nice strip from Barlow. United down 3. Golding.
Oh, my. That's outrageous. I don't even think he had his legs underneath him. Wasn't able to fully extend, but just the touch. The shooter's touch there from deep.
5 of 10 across the night. He's taking over again in the fourth quarter of a throwdown. Jump ball, possession arrow with the Phoenix.
Look at this. Goes to his left, and normally he gets a lot more lift from his legs. This was just more arms, and that's just shooter's touch. And hour upon hour upon hour of work to be able to make those types of adjustments.
Checking the clock. 5 made threes for Golding. Melbourne are 11-2 this season when Golding has 3 or more trebles in a game.
Good numbers. Shot clock they're bringing back to 9.
Right to go. Half it to inbound. Ashley. Guarded by Hook Porty. The German next star stood tall. Here's Barlow. Good look for Golding. Can't make it number 6.
Good find. Chris Golding's just hit a tough one. There's opportunities there, half opportunities for others, but they got it to the right man, although he missed.
Creek with 17, has 20.
Big hit. Big hit. Huge moment for the Phoenix. This is where they're going to need to face their fourth quarter demons and conquer them. Execute through Melbourne United's pressure and keep their season alive.
And they have to do it against the best fourth quarter team in the competition. Golding no good. Illy with the offensive rebound. Just kept fighting for it. And Barlow, as he's done his entire career, buries a big one.
Right place, right time. And Shea Illy with the work on the O boards.
83 apiece. Tarangi with a hand in the face. Trading blows. Timeout called. 2:35 remaining. Neither team will relent.
Well, this doesn't look like a Phoenix team that's gone 16 of 73 in their last 5 outings. They really cooking when it's mattered the most. And Ruben Tarangi, he's been inconsistent, but we know he has the capacity to knock it down from there. And in this quarter here between Adnam and Tarangi, they've come up big.
Catch your breath, catch your breath. All right. Don't think we got to always do it with threes. Make sure we keep attacking the paint. Great overboard, great pillars. All right. This one, Deli, I want to go zip one for you, Shilly. All right, come. Zip one right now. All right, Chris is into the Spanish. Joe, you're flying into it. Pin down. Getting through today. No, sorry, pin down. Sorry. Sorry, that's sorry. Hey, we all got both. Plenty of fouls to give. Make sure we play at pace. He got the 3 right now.
You hear the action called from Dean Vickerman. Going to get Chris Golding involved in that Spanish action, so he'll screen the screener. There's Tommy Greer, CEO of the Phoenix. Oh boy, the nerves up and about for the Grizzle man.
It is, and this action here, they put Shea Ely in the on-ball screen with the big, and then Chris Golding will set a back pick on the big, try to force some help, and he'll be looking to step out for the 3 after he sets the screen.
Keep your eyes on Golding. This trip down the floor. There's the pick. Illy looked for Lawala Chul, though.
That's open. That's the beauty of that action, is that you have options coming out of it. Shea Ely getting downhill to the rim. That wasn't on. You've got Chris Golding on the pick and pop. And you also have Joe Lawala Chul rolling to the rim. And they found the big fella underneath as Ruben Tarangi fouls out of the ballgame.
Adnam back in. 14 on the clock for Melbourne. There's that inbound play. There's Delhi.
See ya. Delhi with the confidence. That was a big moment in this game. Delhi comes in and he might have had a toe on the line.
It's been called as a 2. The Arthur got Golding up in the air. He misses. Munford couldn't drag in the rebound. Inside 2 minutes to play. Southeast Melbourne with their season swinging in the breeze right now. Dellavedova. Clock down to 8. It's off hands. It'll be a Southeast Melbourne ball.
The Phoenix, what are you executing down the other end? How are you getting the ball into Joe Chi? How are you getting the ball to Mitch Creek rolling to the rim? How are you getting it to Xavier Mumford to create off the bounce? Got to play through those main guys.
Adams had a big 4th quarter. That's as big as it gets.
All that. Adnam right into the heart of the defense off a simple pick and roll action. Huge bucket.
He got real deep, didn't he? It's not what we normally see from the United defense.
Melbourne's turn offensively. Golding feeling good. Not that time. Ball bouncing around. Lawala Chul found it. Puts it in.
Sometimes you need a little luck as well as a bit of skill, and that ball bobbled around and just happened to fall the way of Lawala Chul.
He's into double figures. 11 points and 9 rebounds. Adnam has White for company. Now has Lawala Chul. Munford, shot clock at 2. Must shoot. Doesn't go. United with a chance to take the lead. This trip down the floor. Lawala Chul puts the lid on it.
That was poor by Joe Chi. Lawala Chul just took him to the spot he wanted to get and went in and dunked on him. Just real reactive, concerned about fouls, but there's a time to be concerned about fouls. Gave him too much space, and that's just way too soft. When your season's on the line, You need better than that. Now, he's only got 3 fouls, and then we're in the last minute, and they had a foul to give. In fact, 2 fouls to give.
On the flip side, credit Luala-Chul.
Yes.
Did exactly what he needed to do in transition.
Pretty straightforward, fundamental.
Put the pressure on the defense, put some heat on the rim, and Melbourne take the lead.
Perth and New Zealand to come as soon as we finish up this one. Mitch Creek has 20 points. Has seen a lot of the ball tonight. Every time that he has, he's been important for them. Do they go to him next trip down the floor?
Oh, I think the ball's got to go into the hands of one of those main guys. They've had trouble all season executing in these situations, the Phoenix. Creek, 13 field goal attempts. He's got 20. Cheese, 8 from the field. He's got 17. And Xavier Mumford, he's got 14. And Creek's been really good making plays. There was a stretch there in the first half where he just lifted his energy, his intensity, and kept the Phoenix alive. And they're the types of things you can get happening when you play through him. Getting downhill, picking and rolling to the rim, catching it in the block and playing from there. You could do a lot worse than giving him the ball in this big moment.
Phoenix advance it. 28 seconds left. 14 on the clock for them. Down 1. Chi and Luala-Chul. It's been an absorbing battle all night long. Well, the Phoenix have to start playing the foul game.
Sam Chi's been great all game, and they've got a lot of value. He's a perfect 8 of 8 before that. So I can understand why, but I think that in that particular moment, in the context where they need to be, Mitch Creek involved in it. He's downhill.
Now White, 2-on-2 ahead. Lost it. Phoenix get it back.
Didn't have to score.
Needed to pull it out.
What was he thinking?
Invite the foul.
Correct. Like here, you don't drive into this traffic. He just throws it out of bounds.
Here we go. Shot clock switched off. The Phoenix to keep their playoff chances alive. Adnam drives. No foul. Luala-Chul having a big say late.
Here's what they went to. Adnam in amongst the trees at the rim, trying to score over Luala-Chul.
But again, Liam, he's been great this quarter.
Yep.
But in this particular moment, that is not the play that I would want to, when our season's on the line, that I'm going to.
No.
Timeout call.
Cannot, because that's under the IRS rules.
With 3 seconds left.
No.
Phoenix have now lost command. They've lost control of the situation.
They've had some good opportunities. Some big possessions down the stretch to extend their lead or take back the lead right there. I think in those moments, Larry Bird rule needs to be in effect for Mitch Creek. He has to touch it. You got to play through him. He is your MVP contender.
Well, if you're going to get that action like we just saw with Kyle Adnam, I want Mumford doing it. With that extra size, get him the ball, get him to the rack, make those decisions. And that is not an indictment on Kyle Adnam at all. Like, he's been superb. He's played 12 minutes. He's got 12 points, 4 of 7. But there is a time and a place. That wasn't the time or the place for him to be doing that.
Only one throwdown in its history has gone to overtime. That was round 9, 2021. Cool heads need to prevail right now for United. And there's Mitch Creek, 2 trips down the floor to take the lead. And the ball was not in his hands at any stage.
They need a foul as soon as the ball comes in bounds here, the Phoenix, to stop the clock.
Dellavedova inbounds. They foul Illy.
Jeez, he did a good job to get open there. Illy, quick acceleration.
And Mumford did a reasonable job of also avoiding the unsportsmanlike as well.
76% free throw shooter this season, Shea Illy.
No timeouts available. No timeouts left for the Phoenix. They're going to have to go the length of the floor.
In 3.4 seconds. So they're not going to be able to get all the way to the rim unless there's a complete and utter total breakdown by Melbourne United.
It's a 2-point game. Illy misses. Munford from half court. Almost went in. Melbourne United win it 90-88. This Southeast Melbourne Phoenix team, who was put together to win the NBL championship, may not even be there when the Final Four is cast.
No, I think it's highly unlikely now. This was, even with a win here, it was always going to be tough. But now I think that the prospects are all but gone. And well done, the Melbourne United, with Footlocker player of the game, Chris Goulding, 20 points, 5 of 12 from the field, and some tough threes in that last quarter to get his team over the line. And they'll look at this one and look at those self-inflicted wounds and wonder what could have been. That is the Phoenix.
United stay top of the table. We're back to wrap it up after this.
It's the matchup that always delivers. Melbourne and Southeast Melbourne in the throwdown. The 16th edition tonight. Southeast Melbourne Phoenix equation was simple. They must win to keep their finals chances alive. They were winners for most of the game, but it was Melbourne who got their noses in front when it mattered most.
Well, they gave up 29 points to Phoenix in the first quarter, and